Well, thank you very much for your welcome here to the Eastern Cape. Well, things are shaping up here in the Eastern Cape, and what we are seeing is that these elections have not really been kind to political parties that have their roots here in the Eastern Cape, such as Azapo and UDM. It's even worse with the UDM. We know that they used to have quite a huge support in these areas, especially in the rural areas of the former Transkei, but that is not being reflected in these elections. Let's find out the reasons from the leader of the UDM here in the province, who's going to tell us about what could have been the challenge. So I see on the leaderboard there you are sitting at just less than 3% of the vote so far. You are even trailing the EFF, yet you've been around quite a while. What happened?
Thank you very much. You know, there are a lot of challenges that we can link to the performance of the UDM this time around. Well, of course, we will start by looking at the system of the IEC, the effect that it had in our performance as an organization. But be that as it may, we still have a duty as an organization to get back to our members and to find out exactly what went wrong. Is it because maybe there is something that we should have done different from the way we have been doing things? And if that can be the situation, we are more than willing as the leadership of the organization to actually correct the mistakes, if there are any, that they have identified that could actually make them to distance themselves from the organization. And if these results are a reflection of what they need as South Africans, we will have no option but to accept that and find a way of getting back to them, because what we need is their support. We have policies that we believe can be of good value in assisting them as South Africans. But this is high time that as UDM we get back to the drawing board, we find exactly what is it that went wrong that could actually lead to such a performance.
Can you explain what do you mean that the IEC may have been involved in the poor performance of the UDM? How so?
The flaws that we have picked up in their system of not closely monitoring or making sure that the people cannot possibly repeat voting is one of the things that was a cause of concern to us as an organization. And it was a surprise when we actually asked them why things are the way they are. They literally told us that they have no other means of correcting it. But as UDM and other parties, we just had to accept that there are these flaws that the IEC is having.
Do you acknowledge that the UDM is actually its support is declining in the Eastern Cape?
Based on the outcome of these elections, we are not going to deny that fact. We are actually confirming the fact that we are declining, and we need to work hard to reclaim the support that we used to have in this province.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right. And then we have the Azapo. Azapo has been contesting these elections here, but so far, when you look at the leaderboard, they've just been able to gather just over 1,000 votes. And let's find out what could have went wrong for them. So thank you very much for giving us the time. And Azapo, were you prepared for these elections? Did you expect that you would be sitting with just over 1,000 votes at this point?
Well, we think it's proportional to the resources that political parties have invested in these elections. Others have spent billions, whilst we did not have much to spend on these elections. But I must say we're receiving them with mixed feelings. Firstly, we're happy that we have been able to achieve our secondary objective, which is to spread as much as possible in the Eastern Cape so that we prepare for the local government elections, which is our target of better performance. Disappointed that the systems were not as tight as we would have wanted them to be. I think my colleague has already indicated some of the flaws. I do not want to repeat them. Also disappointed that perhaps the indication may be that we would not achieve our primary objective, which is to set foot in the legislature so that we make a difference to the lives of our people.
Okay. So let's leave it at that for now. We'll continue this discussion later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, that's the situation right here in the Eastern Cape, with the elections really dealing with some of the political party very unkindly, and it's going to remain to be seen as to what then happens to the future of these political parties going forward. Back to you at the studio.